Can constant failures lead to success? Watch this amazing story of a young monk's life-changing journey. Love inspiring stories? Hit that subscribe button and join our community. A long time ago, in a quiet mountain, a young monk lived in a peaceful monastery. Life there was simple: morning meditation, reading old books, practicing discipline, and helping others. The young monk had come to the monastery with hope. He wanted to find inner peace and become wise, like the great monks before him. But as days passed, he started to doubt himself. He couldn't meditate for long. His legs hurt, and his mind wandered. He wasn't as strong as the others. Carrying water or chopping wood was hard for him. He even felt slow at learning. Other monks memorized poems and texts quickly, but he took forever. Every night, he sat alone under a tree, whispering, "Why do I fail at everything? Maybe I'm not made for this path." One night, the great master of the monastery saw him sitting quietly and asked, "Why is your heart so heavy?" The young monk replied, "Master, I try so hard, but I keep failing. I don't think I'll ever succeed." The master smiled and said, "Come with me tomorrow morning. I'll show you something important." The next morning, before sunrise, the young monk followed the master deep into the mountains. They walked in silence until they reached a big rock in the forest. The master said, "Look closely at this rock." The young monk looked and saw something strange. There was a round hole in the middle of the rock. The master asked, "How did this hole get here?" The young monk thought for a bit and said, "Maybe someone carved it with a tool." The master shook his head and said, "No, this hole was made by drops of water, tiny drops that fell on the rock for years, over and over. Each drop seemed weak, but together they shaped this hard rock." The young monk stared at the hole in surprise and said, "Water did this? But water is so soft." The master nodded and said, "Yes, and that's the lesson. Even the softest thing can make a change if it doesn't give up. You think you're failing, but you're actually learning. Every mistake is a drop. Every effort shapes you." Then he put his hand on the young monk's shoulder and said softly, "From now on, you'll never fail in life. Failure isn't falling. Failure is not getting back up." The young monk's eyes lit up with understanding and joy. He realized his struggles weren't signs of weakness, but part of his growth. From that day, he changed. Meditation was still hard, but he tried a little longer each time. He still dropped water jars sometimes, but he picked them up without complaining. He still forgot poems at times, but he practiced until he remembered. The other monks slowly noticed his change. His peace grew stronger. His patience ran deeper. His heart became braver. Years later, when the master passed away, the young monk was chosen as the new master of the monastery. Not because he was perfect, but because he had learned the greatest truth. Successful people aren't those who never fail, but those who never stop trying. Whenever a young monk came to him and said, "Master, I keep failing," he would smile and tell the story of the water and the rock. The lesson of the story is this: if you keep moving forward, even slowly, you'll never truly fail. Your success is hidden in your efforts. From now on, you'll never fail in life if you learn to get back up every time you fall. This story teaches us that failures are steps to success. Just keep going and never give up. Loved this lesson? Hit that subscribe button for more inspiring stories. What would you have done in the young monk's place? Share your thoughts in the comments.